Well, welcome everyone. My name is Benny Martin, and tonight we are talking about hormone health. And I am so excited. We have so many amazing testimonies tonight. We are going to be talking about some impact products that have made a huge difference for so many people. And hormones are something that affect all areas of our health. It can be mental health, physical health, and it is something we don't talk enough about and really can have a profound impact on our lives. So here we are tonight talking about it. If you're brave enough and you want to throw in the comments, something that you've been dealing with in terms of hormone health, we'd love to hear from you. This is actually what started my journey when I turned 40. It was like exactly I turned 40. And the next day, my hormones started going nuts. And I thought I was in deep trouble. I was like, something is not right here. And I've been on a path to really take on my health. So we are going to hear from some amazing individuals. And I'm going to introduce you to someone who I met last month at something called Base Camp. And there's a few others that we met at Base Camp on tonight. Jen Laurie was at Base Camp as well. Stephanie Stevens, and her favorite product is Renew. She knows all about it, has some amazing things to share with us. So that's how we're going to kick it off tonight. Stephanie, do you want to share with us your experience with the product Renew and a little bit more about it? Because you've done tons of research on it.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I did. So I came here for collagen to get my hair to grow back. And then I came for the collagen. I'm staying for the mojo, but I became a believer all in for Renew. Those are my three products. Those are my epic products. And I feel like Renew is the diamond amongst the gems. We kind of have to dig for it because it's such a magical product. And so when I found out the potentials, if you haven't read this book yet, this is the book that started it all. Dr. Barry Tan, he's one of our scientific advisory board doctors, and he actually has dedicated his entire career, awesome book, right? His entire career on tocotrienols, and he discovered it in the South America and the anano plant, and he opened it up and all this stuff came out, and he's like, this is a whole nother part of the vitamin E world. And so I read it in one sitting. It's not a big book, so that's the best part. It's super small, but I heard it's exactly what Benny just said. I hit 40. I don't know what happens at 40, ladies. Something just shifts overnight. 35, my body changed. 40, it's like a whole nother ball game. And so I was losing hair on epics amount. I was getting hot flashes. I was having cold sweats. My brain fog was out of control. And I went to see my doctor and she basically says, well, you're in your 40s now and you got 2 kids and a stressful job and you're always on the go and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, when did 40 become like 80 all of a sudden? I don't understand, right? Like, this is unacceptable to me. And I was literally going bald. And I went to the dark places where I went on Google and I diagnosed myself and I had a brain tumor. I went to the dark, dark places. Little did I know that I just need a little bit of help balancing out my hormones and some serious good collagen to get my hair back. And so it's been a complete game changer, right? Well, you're a woman, so that's normal. I like that comment, right? Well, you're 40 and you're a woman, and so this is it. No, unacceptable. So I read this book and tocotrienols. So most of the world know tocopherols, which is the vitamin E that's been around for like 100 years, right? And it's what we know, and you can put it on like your little scar tissue and it can help repair. The tocotrienols is like a whole nother ball of just beauty. And in his book, real quick, his quick tips were helps maintain a healthy brain, so that brain fog, and healthy aging. It can help maintain a healthy blood sugar level. So a lot of it is when you reach perimenopause, or you reach the big 40, a lot of your sugar levels start to get irregular, and that can be a contributor to your hot flashes and your night sweats. The other one was help maintain healthy cells, which I'll explain in a second. Cardiovascular health and cholesterol level check. This magical beauty thing can actually help regulate your cholesterol and your blood pressure. Liver maladies. Science has been shown that he has proven that you can literally reverse and help heal a fatty liver. Healthy bones. We also in our Renew has GG Gold. I don't know how to pronounce the actual the long words, but it's called GG Gold, and it's fantastic for bone health. So osteoporosis, just weak bones as we age. Radiation protection, you guys. We're always surrounded by Wi-Fi and sun and this and microwaves and all those things. So protecting your cells is really important. Inflammation, that's a huge one, especially as we got older. As we get older, there's inflammation and just all of the things that are involved in our life with stress, the foods that we're eating, especially in North America, the soil is just not what it is. So inflammation is huge. And then of course, just upgrades all your cells to lipid antioxidant protection. So basically in a nutshell, it just boosts, I think of it as boosting your cellular levels, where it takes your healthy cells and makes them stronger. I like to think of it as like putting a super cape on it, like a Superman or Superwoman cape on top of your cells. It's going to protect it. So if you have a damaged cell or a radical cell or a cancer cell, if you go to his website, he has studies on pancreatic cancer and ovarian cancer patients. He's seen actual cellular rejuvenation on those damaged cells. So you're going to get your healthy cells stronger to the point where now, instead of this damaged cells, what happens is it attacks your healthy cells and it brings it down. That's how cancer spreads, the big C. Here, it's going to make it stronger and it's going to help rejuvenate and actually flip those damaged cells. So now your cells are working on a whole nother level, and now your body can start producing and being more efficient. And so this has been mind-blowing to me. I started taking it for my cycles. Since I've had my children, I'm going to be specific here because it's real, right? I had my kids and all of a sudden something changed. You have 2 children and everything just goes downhill. And my cycle was just never the same. My pain tolerance was completely different. My pain changed completely, but I also was getting a lot of clotting. And actually when my daughter was born, it was actually a little dangerous. They had me under review because I was losing so much blood when she was born. And then I've had severe clotting ever since. It's always been an issue. We've always kept track of it. And then I started getting hot flashes and night sweats and brain fog. And I was starting to get those perimenopause symptoms around 37. And it was just getting worse and worse. So I started taking the Renew because I had heard it can help. 2 weeks in, okay, just take it 1 pill a day. 2 weeks in, I got my cycle. First time in 10 years, not one blood clot, not one. And what is mind-blowing to me is what scared me about the blood clots is like, where else is there clotting happening in your body, right? Clotting is dangerous. It's scary. But after 2 weeks, this was the first cycle I had a healthy cycle. My back pain was almost non-existent. My cycle was shorter because it was healthier. And my night sweats, within a month, my night sweats completely stopped and the hot flashes have completely gone away. It is completely changed my hormonal balancing, my mood swings. I also don't want to hurt my family once a month. You know, that one time a month when people are in your house and you're just so irritated. Well, it has controlled some of that as well. It's been a complete game changer. And now 40 doesn't have to be so scary because all I needed was a little bit of hormonal balancing, and I needed my body to do what it needed to do. And it all comes from a plant. So it's been a game changer for me. And that's why I've dived into this book. I've dived into what it can do. And I think it could help so many people. And I just touched the surface of what it can do. That's just a little bit of what it can do. So thanks for having me.
Gosh. I love it. And I love your passion and your story. It is phenomenal. And I love that you just dove right in to figure it out. It's awesome. And thank you. I know you're on the Eastern time zone, so thank you for staying up. I'm actually going to pull up another video now of someone else who loves Renew. Everyone's body is a little bit different. So we love to share lots of different stories of what's helping people because sometimes everyone's a little different. And I know for myself as a woman, when I'm, wondering what's going on, I lean on other women to guide me because we've been through it. So I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me for a second. And thank you once again, Stephanie. That was awesome. Okay. So next we have up Christy Scott. Let me move this out of the way. She also loves Renew. We're going to hear her story.
Thank you, Penny, for asking me to share my testimony. This is the first time I've shared it. So it's a little bit TMI, especially if there are any men on here, so I do apologize. My name is Christy Scott. I have been using Trinont products over a year now. I started introducing this little product into my routine But I did it for a couple months and then I stopped doing it because I wasn't really paying attention to the powerhouse that is in these little capsules. So just a little bit of a background. I have always struggled with very bad periods, very heavy, a lot of pain. Usually I'm in a ball, I am in bed, and it's very difficult when you have to work. I get the pleasure of working from home, but when I did have to go out to work, you have to go to work in pain, dying of cramps. So that has always been a problem for me. Heavy, painful periods. Now, if you suffer from that, you know what I'm talking about. Even endometriosis. Now, this guy's not going to heal any problems, but it could be a game changer for your pain management. So I started again about 2 months ago, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm really going to pay attention, because what Renew does is it's a high vitamin E, and it's fantastic for our hormone health. Men as well, but women especially, our hormones. This is something that we should all be taking to balance out our hormones. So I started taking it about 2 months ago. I really was like, I'm going to pay attention to see if I see some changes. I can't even begin to tell you how much better my periods have been. So what I do, normally I take one a day, but about 2 to 3 days before I get my period, I have upped it. I've been taking 2 to 3 of these for my period time where I know I'm going to get cramps, right? So what has it done? In the last 2 months, I have noticed my periods are so much lighter, like so much lighter, which really, if you think about that, being lighter equals less cramping, because I don't have that problem. I'm not going to say what it is because the men are on here. I don't have that problem that causes the cramping. It's less. So my periods are less and lighter. They have been shorter. From a day to 2 days, my periods have ended quicker. That's huge. Who doesn't want that? And the other thing is my pain. My cramps they've almost gone away. I still have cramps, but they're manageable, right? When you go from laying in a ball, trying to get rid of this pain, to having slight pain and being able to still do things, that's pretty stinking huge. So this is my tip for you. If you struggle with any of the above that I mentioned, add Renew into your daily routine and see if it helps. It may take about 2 to 3 months before you really start to notice, but it's going to help with your hormones, which we need. And it may really be the answer to helping with any cramps, pains that you have, and even endometriosis. It may help it make it manageable. So that was my testimony. I hope I helped somebody. Again, Benny, thanks for asking me to share my testimony. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic night and you are learning lots. Bye.
Amazing. And I love that that was her first time sharing that testimony for her. Ooh, I need to plug in my laptop here. I'm not now going to pass it over. Just let me plug in my laptop. To Candace. And Candace is one of my dear friends, and I've met her through the business. She's a mentor. She is just amazing, and she has a love for collagen. So I'm going to get Candace to come on and share her testimony.
Hi, you guys. Yeah, this is something that I'm super passionate about. I love talking about collagen. So you guys, my name is Candace Lasharity. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm 51 years old. When I was about 48, I had gone to see just my GP. You know, I knew I was getting older. Things were changing. You know, I was a little bit late to the table. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have my first child, my only child, till I was 38. And so I was a little bit late into like perimenopause, menopause, but I knew at 48, the hot flashes had started, night sweats, mood swing. I mean, just everything seemed to be just changing. I was a little achier. Things were drier. Everything just felt drier. Like I just felt like crispy. I hated it. And I went to my doctor and I said, I don't want to take estrogen. I don't want to be on synthetic hormones. How do I get through this? And she goes, you need collagen. And I went, oh no, because I felt like every time I turned around, it was collagen on TV, collagen on my Facebook, collagen on my Instagram ads, collagen. And it was always different. And I had absolutely no idea what I was looking for. Was I looking for marine? Was I looking for bovine? Was I looking for powder? Was I looking at, I was completely lost. So I started to dive in, and I leaned on friends, a really good girlfriend of mine, Eileen, she's like, okay, Candace, this is what you want. You want to go to a bovine, you want to make sure it's liquid, things like that. So I started trying different products. I did try the powder. I did try different companies that were liquid. Some of them came in like glass bottles. I didn't find that environmentally friendly. I didn't find it, we're getting, 30 glass bottles in a month just didn't seem, realistic to me. I wanted something that I knew worked. So at 48, I'd been on different collagens for about 2 years. This little baby kind of just breezed over my Facebook. And I looked and I went, oh, okay. Me not being a special, like knowing a lot about it, just knowing I needed it. I thought, you know what? I'm going to take this. I have a really good friend. She's a naturopathic doctor in Vancouver. I'm going to just screenshot the supplemental facts on the back, give her a very quick blurb and say, am I in the right direction? Like, is this is it good? Is it not good? I sent it over to her. And it took Allison about 3 days to get back to me. And when she did, she said, Candace, run, don't walk. That is the best collagen I've ever seen. She says, I have yet to see one better. She goes, you have 11 grams per serving of hydrolyzed liquid bovine collagen with a massive amount of biotin, an amazing amount of protein, like all the things that you need. She goes, that's the best one. And she says, it's clean. She says, there's no sugar, there's no juice, there's no garbage in there. She goes, run. So I'm like, okay. So I got it. And I literally right then and there, I actually didn't even get the collagen. I signed up for the business because the next thing I looked at, being the business person I am, I was like, okay, if it's that good, I want to see the comp plan. And I did. And I was like, okay, right? About 2 weeks into this, I started taking it. My husband started taking it. And he's super active, really athletic guy. He's like, man, I feel great. My hair started growing. I mean, you can see the gray hair. I have to get my hair done like every few weeks. My hair when I started was really dark. I'm like, this isn't going to work. I have to go lighter and lighter and lighter, blend that gray out because I was at the hairdressers at least every 2 weeks getting the roots done. I had at the time lash extensions. And so those of you guys that know me maybe from previously, I wore lash extensions for almost 10 years and my lashes were damaged and I took them off and I had nothing. I had no eyelashes, like literally I had nothing. 2 weeks into this and I took pictures, I documented and my lashes came back and the skin on my hands came back. And at 51, these are big things. Like you really start to notice this stuff as you get older. And when you can actually see, it was the first time that I had been able to see, feel, and had measurable, I guess, like actually see a difference and feel a difference. And it was from this stuff. And I love it. I love it. I'll never go to anything else. I love doing comparisons on collagen. And I mean, 18 months, almost 2 years taking this now, I have yet, and I look at every collagen, my team, my customers, they love to challenge me. They love to come at me and say, well, what about this? What about this? What about this one? I've never seen one better. I have yet, never seen one better. So I will always stick with this one. It's my fave.
Amazing. Thank you, Candace.
You're welcome.
I'm a collagen lover. That is what brought me in as well. I'm going to get Candace to introduce Mir
Okay.
and I'll put up the video.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Oh, you guys, this is my girl. This is Mariana. She's incredible. Just a wealth of knowledge. Mariana is very natural and just beautiful. She has run massive teams. She came into this business again, like I did, strictly for collagen. She's very well versed in healthcare products, but it was the collagen that brought her in. I can't wait to hear what she has to say.
Hi, I'm Mariana, and I'm going to share how Glow has been a game changer to my health. So, when you're in your 40s, especially your late 40s, I'll be 49 in a couple of weeks. We're told that we need collagen for hair, skin, and nails. So I'm not going to lie, I started taking it for vanity reasons, but I didn't realize it was going to be really amazing for my health, for my hormones. I used to PMS really badly, where I was in a fetal position.
Benny, you muted yourself. We can't hear her now.
Email, easy peasy. It helped
You
me
rewind it a little bit.
scene.
Sorry.
And then probably
Oh, shoot.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
hi, I'm
We'll listen to it
Mariana,
again.
and I'm going to share how Glow has been a game changer to my health. So, when you're in your 40s, especially your late 40s, I'll be 49 in a couple of weeks. We're told that we need collagen for hair, skin, and nails. So I'm not gonna lie, I started taking it for vanity reasons, but I didn't realize it was gonna be really amazing for my health, for my hormones. I used to PMS really badly, where I was in a fetal position a couple of days before I menstruate. And it would be on repeat every month, along with night sweats. And 3 months in, I would take a shot a day, 30 ml, easy peasy. It helped me sleep because of the glycine. And then probably, I would say about 3 months in, I noticed I was no longer getting any PMS pain. I thought maybe it was a coincidence. I have been using Glow for over a year now, and no night sweats, no PMS anymore. Like seriously, if you have any hormonal issues, you're going premenopausal, menopause, I highly suggest trying Glow. It may help for you. It totally helped for me. There's a lot of teenagers as well that use it. My daughter uses it and it's helped her with her menstrual cycle. So I wouldn't go a day without it. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, guys. Sorry, I have an 8-year-old bopping around here, mom life. So I muted myself. I forgot. Jen, I'm going to pass it over to you to introduce our next speaker.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. So for our next couple of speakers, so as you guys can see, some of these are recorded videos. They were literally recorded today because our guests couldn't make it tonight because they had other things going on. So they're going to watch this. I know they're going to come back and watch this. And I just want to say, take a moment to say thank you guys for taking a moment to record for us today, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to hear their stories. So that's super awesome. So the next person who we're going to hear from is my friend Bonnie. And Bonnie and I connected through my nutrition practice, actually. And well, prior to that, but that's where our relationship was. And when she was looking for collagen, I knew right away I needed to share with her. And so let's just hear her story. I had no idea it was going to be so transformational for her, but here's her story. And this is just a piece of her story, just so you know. We're just talking hormone health today, but of course we know that the help can go beyond just hormone health.
Hello, everyone. I am Bonnie, and I have been using Trinot products since mid-January of this year. Jen Laurie has asked me to do this short video testimonial as I am unable to attend live tonight due to a business event. I am an entrepreneur of a bookkeeping firm in Edmonton, which means my life is very fast-paced and I need lots of energy. I'm here to share my hormone health journey. I feel everyone's hormone health journey is different, but we shouldn't have to be alone, as there are others who may have experienced the similar symptoms and might be able to share what worked for them. My hormone journey all started when I was 40 years of age and had to have a hysterectomy. And my doctor informed me I have the potential to start menopause within a few weeks of my surgery. I thought, oh boy, I'm so young, and I didn't want to have to, go through it so early in life. Luckily, it didn't happen until 14 years later, which was last summer, when the menopausal symptoms started happening, and it was so quick. It happened overnight. I went to bed, and the next day, all of a sudden, everything started. I started getting day sweats, night sweats, fatigue, mood swings. I felt sluggish. I had absolutely no sleep due to overheating during the night. Had the covers on, off, air conditioner, fans, you name it. nothing like being in a client meeting and all of a sudden sweating so bad. I felt like I had run a full marathon. What an embarrassing moment. And you hope they aren't noticing the sweat beading off your face, but your face is turning red and you feel like, oh my goodness, it's so hot in here. And I remember my mom always telling me to never go to the doctor and get prescription drugs, as it was, for her, it was even harder when she finally decided to stop taking them. Her symptoms seemed to be more intense. So I tried everything, all kinds of products, all kinds of natural remedies, just to try to see if I could get some results. It didn't happen. I finally reached out to Jen as I was already part of her metabolic balance program. And that's when she introduced me to Trinot's products. I started out with Glow and started noticing some changes in my skin complexion. My red was not near as red. And then I started taking Balance, Enrich, and Renew. Within a few weeks of taking the combination of the 4 products, I really noticed a difference. All of a sudden, it just dawned on me that one day, hey, I'm not sweating. I'm not sitting here and sweating to death and my face just beating up as if I had just done a major workout. And the night sweats all of a sudden disappeared. It was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I can finally sleep. And I just ended up with more energy. I find the mood swings not quite as drastic. I don't go through fatigue as much. I don't feel as sluggish, and I seem to have a lot more energy and can get back into my normal workout routine. So at this point, all I have to say is I'm so glad that Jen has been a part of my health journey, both through the metabolic balance and introducing me to Trinot's products, because I don't know if I could have lived with the symptoms I had last year for about 6 or 7 months. So I just want to thank you so much, Jen, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share my journey.
I love it. I love that what we share here just changes so many people's lives. And so we've heard a lot of the side of like aging. And so we're going to flip it here and we're going to hear from someone who is in her early 20s. Okay, because hormone health doesn't just start when we're 40. I bet you we all know someone who is in their 20s or 30s or even teenagers, like Mir talked about her daughter, even teenagers that also struggle when it comes to hormone health and monthly cycles and everything that is kind of surrounded around that. And so I invited my friend Martha to share her story because she is just at the beginning of what's like the transformation that's happening in her body. And I love her to death. And I am so excited for you guys to hear from her, because this, again, it is not just about us aging women and being able to age gracefully. But if we can tackle some of these imbalances when our girls are younger, they're not going to have to go through what we go through when we're 40 and 50 and all of that. If we can help get them in balance sooner, they are going to just have more success. So let's listen to what Martha has to share.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Martha, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my journey with PCOS and how different Trinot products have helped me. So I started getting PCOS symptoms when I was around 15 to 16, got properly diagnosed when I was 18. A couple of my symptoms that I dealt with for so many years was I was always bloated. No matter what I ate, I was always bloated. My digestion was absolutely awful. I had a dairy and gluten intolerance, which that made life really difficult. I gained weight and I could not lose weight no matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, I could not lose weight. And if I did lose weight, I'd lose 10 pounds, gain it right back again. That's kind of what my life was like. My period was also really, really awful. So I had a really irregular period. and I always like ovulated really irregularly, all that fun stuff. But my period cramps when I would get my period was absolutely terrible. Like I spent many days in bed not being able to go to work and stuff just because I had really bad cramps. Like I could not walk. It was absolutely awful. Then in April of this year, so just some months ago, I started using Enrich to help with my digestion and my bloating. And I'm happy to say I no longer have a dairy and gluten intolerance. I have lost weight. So I actually don't weigh myself, but I know I've lost weight because I regularly like measure myself, that sort of thing. My clothes are fitting better, but in total between my waist and my hips, I have lost just about 20 inches already. So I'm feeling quite proud of myself. My digestion has been great. Yeah, no more bloating. And then I've also been recently using Renew for the last couple months, and I am now ovulating regularly. I have a regular period. When I do have my period, it's really normal, no major cramp, like pretty much no cramps. And I'm just all around feeling better. So yeah, it has been super.
Oh my goodness. Amazing.
Isn't it? It's just mind blowing to me, like the simple introduction of nutrients that our bodies are requiring to function can make such a big difference. And so I'm just going to take a moment to share really quickly why these products operate. I mean, Stephanie already shared some amazing things about Renew. So I'm not going to go too deep into Renew because she already shared a lot of that. But when it comes to the collagen, which was shared about, the Enrich, which was shared about, the reason why our supplements are so effective is a couple of things. One, formulation, not having synthetics and having actual whole food ingredients and sources for the nutrients allows our body to actually recognize it and utilize it. Because although synthetic isolates are made to chemically mimic the natural counterpart, it's not the same. And our bodies are smart. Our body knows it's not the same. You can't fool your body. It's not the same. So one, being a whole food formulation matters. Having zero synthetics matters, okay? The second piece of it is the delivery system. I had never seen before and have yet to see another brand that has an enzymatic delivery system. What that means is the body is able to actually access those nutrients and use the nutrients within the capsules. So a lot of companies might have great ingredients, but if it doesn't have a delivery system for your body, it just is not maybe accessing the nutrients as effectively. So those are just a couple of the reasons why why we're seeing such transformational, crazy stories. Because hands up if sometimes you think this has got to be too good to be true. It's not going to work for me. Okay, I was that skeptic. I was that skeptic at the beginning as well. This isn't going to work. And then even when I tried it and it worked, I was like, maybe it's placebo effect. Like, I am the number one skeptic, you guys. I really am the number one skeptic, especially when it comes to things like this, just so you know. So what I love is that it's not just someone over here that I've never met before telling me it's happening. I'm able to share it with people who are close to me, people who are friends, people who are family to me, and watch their lives transform. And that's a really cool position to be in, where I can actually make that big impact. And so that kind of leads us into the next piece, where we're going to talk about like the business side of things, because I'm going to be real here. It's great to feel great, but it's even better to help people feel great and to be able to build a business that you financially can benefit by helping people. It's like a win-win. And so, Benny, I'm going to turn it over to you to share a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jen. And thank you for all the testimonies tonight. I learn something new all the time. And even just in the past few months, all of my friends who are having hot flashes and night sweats, I'm telling all of them, just try the collagen, try the Renew. And they're trying it and it's working. So it's just amazing when we can make a difference for other people. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight? Was there a product that was just jumping out at you? When I heard about Renew and some of the stories a few months ago, I started taking it myself. So throw in the comments which product is jumping out for yourself, and make sure you go back to whoever invited you tonight. So we're just going to share a little bit how you can get your hands on the products. And I'm just going to pull up my slides one more time. There's 2 different ways you can get your hands on the products. Actually, first, sorry, did I share my screen, you guys? Nope, here we go. Okay. So before we do that, I'm actually going to just share a few before and afters because there's some of these people on the call. So I know Candace talked about how much she loves Glow. Jen also loves Glow. I love Glow. We can't show you what it looks like to not have things happening in our body, but we can show you our photos. So the side effect of these natural products are people are starting to age backwards. This is Candace on the left. I know her rosacea has gone away. Her skin is brighter. Jen is in the middle. You guys, she's on tonight. Every single time I'm on a Zoom with her and I see her multiple times a week, she just looks brighter and younger. It's amazing. This is me on the right. I really resonated with the hair falling out when I turned 40, and I loved my hair. I was like having hair pieces, things like that. You can see how long it is. This I put on a tank top and I could not believe how much it had grown. So those are just a few photos there. This is our friend Krista, who was on Enrich Collagen, her hair growth, her skin, as well as so many benefits for her gut health as well. This is Leslie. Her veins went subdermal. So many other benefits, as we were saying about the products. So there are a couple different ways you can get your hands on the products. And I always like to tell people, I recommend to everyone to join as an associate. So if you're someone like Candace or Stephanie or Martha or Bonnie, and you're having these amazing results, you can then give out your website. I just had a friend reach out to me today and say, okay, let's get some collagen. And I just gave her my website. So I want you guys to think about the last Netflix show that you binged. And then somebody posted or asked you, what should I watch on Netflix tonight? What's the good movie? We reach out to our friends, right? So imagine every time, by the way, I'm watching Lincoln Lawyer right now. I recommend it. But every time, yeah, Candace is giving me the thumbs up. But every time, if Candace now goes to watch the Lincoln Lawyer, because I recommended it, I'm not going to get a kickback from Netflix, which, by the way, have raised their prices over the years. So that's the difference with social selling, is when you share what you love, you're going to have some financial breathing room and you can actually start a business. So that's how I recommend that people get their hands on the products, because for me, in this economy and where we live, it is just necessary to have multiple revenue streams. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna pull on maybe Candace and Jen just to share their favorite aspect of the business, and then we're gonna wrap up tonight. I'll just share with you guys, I'm a single mama. You guys saw I had like my son running in. He had tutoring before this. I am blessed to be able to have a flexible schedule, work from home, and provide an income for my son. Candace, do you want to just share quickly your favorite part of the business?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, I was almost 20 years in corporate. For most of you guys, if you're Canadian, you'll know our telecommunications company here, TELUS. I worked in their corporate field forever. And like I said earlier, I was a late mama having my son. And I mean, I waited forever to have him. So when we did finally have him, I thought, I don't want to go back to work. I want to be able to stay home and never miss any of those things. And to be totally honest, I didn't come into this industry for the income part of it. Yes, it was phenomenal, but I came in really for the community. I came in to meet other mamas, other women that were sort of in the same situation that I was in. I was a complete introvert. I was quiet. I was reserved, and I just wanted to meet other people. And I really started to lean into this industry and learn. And when I had built probably 2 other companies to executive top levels, but when I saw the comp plan here, I couldn't look away. I was like, this, it almost felt like it was too good to be true, if I'm being completely honest. I kept looking at it and looking at it, thinking, there has to be a catch. There has to be a loophole here that I'm missing. Because sometimes in network marketing, you have to have that, I always call it the pink polka dotted unicorn, where it's like, oh man, I have to like check all these boxes and I have to do all these things, or I have to build this massive organization in order to, replace my income. And just wasn't the case here. So coming from another company where I had a large team, I thought, you know what, if I come over here and they follow and they come with me, they will win. And that was extremely important to me, that no matter what level you were at, no matter your experience level, your male, female, that was something that was really big for me too. Like I came from predominantly a beauty industry. Coming in here, it was for everybody. It didn't matter, men, women, younger, older, it was every demographic. And the comp plan here was disruptive. Like I said, I've been in this industry for a really long time, and I've looked at a lot of different comp plans, and I had never seen one like this where everybody could win. And that to me was critical. I couldn't look away, and it's been a complete blessing. I mean, like I said, I came in February 2022. We have, risen to an emerald level here, which is a 5-figure a month paycheck. And that is massive for my family. Absolutely life-changing for my family. So you can't go wrong. I love everything about it, to be honest. I just love it.
Amazing. Jen, do you want to share your favorite part of the business before we wrap up?
Absolutely. I was just reading through to see if there was any questions that we can answer, but I gotta get back to that. So my favorite part of the bit, well, I have so many pieces of my favorite part of the business. So I actually, I stumbled into this industry by chance. For me, I didn't even I bought a kit once, you know what I mean? And then I was like, oh, it'd be fun to have adult conversations, because I had 5 kids or 4 kids in 5 years, and I realized I really didn't have a lot of adult interaction, and I was the only time I was away from my children was to have another baby. So I got in for the community piece is what really sucked me in. I love the community in this industry. However, when I actually began to understand leverage and how you can actually create a life of your dreams with time freedom, financial freedom, 2 of my kids ended up having significant struggles as they got older. And it became necessary that we had time flexibility. I couldn't actually go to work. So we needed extra income. My husband's business was not bringing, and we were already business owners of a franchise. So we had done traditional business, and it really didn't financially pay off. And so I needed to bring in income, but I couldn't go to work. We were spending 4 to 8 hours at specialist offices every week in the hospital. And this industry allowed me the flexibility of being able to create income on my own terms. And the other piece of it is if you have a work ethic, guys, I have a work ethic. And I had, previous to having kids, I was an accountant. And it didn't matter how hard I worked harder, they gave me more work. I worked harder, they gave me more work. That's how it worked. It was not, my raises, I was already at the max pay for my position. I had reached that ceiling. The only way I was getting paid more was to wait for inflation to catch up. And so that, to me, it didn't fuel me to want to stay in that. And so when I began to understand this industry, I really truly started to begin to understand that leverage and time freedom and financial freedom. And 4 years into the industry, I had massive success and was able to retire my husband at the time that we needed to be home with our boys and pull them from public schooling because it wasn't working. So my favorite thing about this business, about this industry, is the ability to have that freedom. When you have a work ethic, you can create freedom for yourself. If you are self-motivated or you are open to coaching to learn how to do the things, that is when you're going to find success. And it has created the life of our dreams, and we're only just getting started. And I believe that Trinot is the vehicle that will help me do that for others. To have the success I've had in this industry, I feel like we will be able to have more people have success in this company. Why? A, we have the products that create success for people. They're consumable. And B, we have the comp plan that is unmatched. And so this is two pieces. Oh, and I'll just mention the third piece, which I think is crucial for success in this industry. We have unmatched leadership here. The level at which we have access to, people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for this kind of coaching and training that we have within our leadership teams here at Trinot. And that, to me, I mean, if any of you who have been watching my journey, I know that there's some of you watching on here that have been watching my journey. If you can't see the growth in me in the past 6 months, like, you haven't been watching, because I feel like I've grown more in the past 6 months than I have in the past 6 years. And that is due to the coaching and mentorship that's available here in this company. So anyways, I kind of went on a rant there, Benny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I went on a bit of a rant, but this is how passionate I am about having the opportunity for this type of growth and what it can do to help people take their life to the next level.
Absolutely. And I have the privilege of working with Jen. And you know what I love about everyone who shared tonight is we're here to make a difference. And we have phenomenal products. We heard tonight, amazing testimonies. That's what brought most of us here. And then matched with that, we have this amazing business opportunity and compensation plan. So if you have any questions, please reach out to whoever invited you. I'm going to stop the recording. We'll stay on for a minute. If you have any questions about the products or any other things, throw it in the chat and we will be able to answer those for you guys.